Are you ready?
Seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts
right here, right now.
Message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
I feel like pound sign, question mark, star, exclamation mark. Don't give a blank and a whole lot of other choice words I can't say. The day I feel like pound sign, question mark, star, exclamation point.
This right here is my sway.
Hungover, a lot closer to ringing death's door than I was yesterday. Head aching. Handshake.
Hey, look at that. See, look, let's see how it got the delay. Yeah, it's the show. Look, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of Hogs HQ Live. My man over here, that is Adam, and you see Matt, aka Hart. Look, it's episode 52. Don't forget, as always, tell a friend and tell a friend. And shout out to Brad Stanton, knowing what it is. Tell a friend, tell a friend. We'll pick suit. Brad, when I tell you we had a conversation before we got on, we want to ensure that we were on time. We did not get called out. So we did that just for you, Brad. So once again, we appreciate you, sir. Man, look. We got a lot to get to. I'm going to try to be the calm person tonight because somehow Hart is going to talk me out of what I'm about to say. But when I tell you,
who is here?
Who is here? Let's see who is here.
Shannon
Logan is here. Yeah,
we got Logan in here.
Logan need to get on here. I'm like, we've been missing him for a couple of weeks. So Shannon, shout out to Shannon, and things of that nature. Hell yeah. Brad says mediocre again. JP Gregory, how are you fellas tonight? We are fine. I can't speak for these two gentlemen. You fine?
Doing all right. How about you,
All right.
JP?
All right, there it is. Jamie Tidwell, shout out to Jamie. Thanks for jumping in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. I did. I was trying to call Adam to see if he had green bean casserole and
No.
cucumber sandwiches or something. I don't know. It's just,
Hey, you were shocked to find out that I had so many cousins.
hey, I'm not gonna say what I said to Adam on the phone, but Adam had 2 Thanksgiving. That's how many family members he got. He had 2 Thanksgiving dinners. He said he only had 1 plate out of 2 days, so
Hmm.
he's making sure to stay close to his slim and trim fit. Um, Logan, shout out to you, Logan. Glad you're back, sir. With that being said, let's start out with the hog news. That what you say?
No, we ain't doing that.
Can't do it. Can't
Got to
do it.
keep you around.
Yeah,
We can pay some bills first.
let's do that.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for everything sports betting. Every stat, matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, NBA, to political props. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
All right, and we are back. We are back. Logan said he been gone since week 5. Exactly. We miss you, my guy. Glad you're back. Rod, what it do? What it do, Rod? Glad you in here
Hey,
early.
Rob.
Making it do what it do. JP says, right as rain here. I'm assuming that it's raining where you are. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I got from him. Shout out to Miss Armstrong. Miss Armstrong. Even though we know your son about to go off to the NFL, we don't want to miss your presence. So please make sure you can still tap in with us as your son goes on to future ventures to the NFL. Said again, the weather was ass, and the conditions of the steps to the seats were unacceptable. People were scared to walk. Do better, Mizzou. Yeah, I mean they still don't even have seats in the damn end zone. They're still sitting in the damn rocks in the end zone. Morgan says, "What up, fellas?" Boom.
What up?
We're gonna get FYIDP, your boy Mr. Hughes Tackle. Hey, shout out to Ty, man. Ty, I seen you in the comments. I told you gotta join us, man. Like, we on good terms, Ty. And like I said, the last couple times you've been on here, you dropped some great comments. So I'm glad you are joining us this evening with some great comments to keep us moving. We're gonna jump straight into the menu. So we're gonna start off with basketball. We lost in basketball too.
Yep. 90 to 77, I think is what it was. It's what happens when you can't stop the three. And when the team comes out, I mean, they hit 15 threes, I think is what it was. Shot 48%. Every time Arkansas would get within, 8, 9 points, they would get back up 16. So there was no coming back from it. I would say that the other Avicic got the better of Big Z.
Yeah, so he played against his brother, and then his brother put up all the points.
So, it's one of those things that we got Miami coming up on Tuesday, I think, and it's one of those that I don't want to just be like, oh, they're a crap team. It's going to be easy. Who knows what it's going to be like, what type of environment they're going to go into at Miami. So we'll see how they play. I think that this team has a lot of work to do when it comes from playing away from Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense to me. Mr. Hart, you got anything on the basketball front?
Yeah, I mean, it did suck that, like Adam said, it seemed like every time we cut into the lead, they push it right back to 15, 16 points. It's just part of it nowadays with the transfer portal and going after a bunch of freshmen like Cal does. You're going to have, they're going to have to learn from this experience, learn from their mistakes, and hopefully put it all together by the time February comes so they can get a strong run going into March. But as far as this game goes, though, I'd like to see us drive to the basket a little more, try to get the big man in foul trouble. And it's tough right now when we're not hitting a lot of shots. It's tough. I mean, it's nice to see it when we play UMass or whatever it was, and everything you shoot goes in. But when you play competition, it's not. It didn't come as easy, and they're probably learning that.
Yeah. So.
Left at the
You know, back in the day, possibly, but I would throw up if that was huge plates of food. I just get tired of eating the same thing, so I'm not going to go and eat 2 days worth of Thanksgiving food. I don't do leftovers. I don't do like the same thing back to back.
Now, the only thing this year, we did not host Thanksgiving, so we went somewhere else and ate, and it was like, hey, you guys want to pick? Nope, I don't want nothing in my refrigerator. I don't want my Tupperware full of nothing. I'm good.
Going somewhere is better because you can leave when you want versus
Mhm.
trying to get people out of your house.
And you got to clean up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a task. Mr. Hart, how did you enjoy your Thanksgiving?
I hosted one Thanksgiving, and then I went to another one in Palm Bluff, but it was good. It was good food. Had a good time visiting with family and everybody.
Did you have some pumpkin pie or some apple pie?
No, I had sweet potatoes. I did have a
Pump-
pumpkin roll.
Pumpkin pie is
With
overrated.
Wait a minute, what is a pumpkin roll? Please enlighten me.
You don't know what a pumpkin roll is?
We don't do that. We don't do that in nobody house that I've ever been to in life. So please enlighten me. I want to be informed.
well, I didn't cook it, so all I know is it eats well. Um, no, I, it was a kind of a cake consistency, if you will,
Okay.
and it had I can't think of the type of cream it is. I used to love it as a kid. I go and
Oh,
steal
oh,
some out of the
okay.
fridge, but it's some
Gotcha,
type
gotcha,
of
gotcha,
um, icing on it. Um, that's pretty good.
gotcha. Mr. Phone a friend pulls up the image, so I appreciate that, sir. I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, so question. I have this question. So I know we joking, we kid or whatnot. Do you guys eat what's it called? Fruit, not fruit salad. What's it called? It's fruit. It's fruit in a log,
Roll-ups?
not fruit roll-ups. What is it called? Somebody tell me in the comments. What? Uh,
Are
fruit
you talking about like
fruit
the
cake,
Jello with fruit in
fruit
it?
cake, fruit
Fruit
cake,
cake?
fruit cake,
No.
fruit cake.
Um, mm.
First off, that's a Christmas thing, and second off, no,
Okay, well we headed into Christmas, so I just wanted to know
no,
if you're looking
no.
forward to it.
I've
Anybody?
never in my life had it, nor do I ever plan to.
Gotcha. Now, the one thing that's interesting to me, so in Georgia, anybody house you go to, they're gonna have sweet potato pie. Now, sweet potato pie is cool, but I'm more of a peach cobbler.
I had peach
Cr-
cobbler.
yeah, Christmas, I'm a blackberry cobbler, but I need a pecan pie for
Mm.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. Pecan, pecan, whatever you want to call it, whatever part of
Hmm.
Arkansas you're from, and nobody seems to make one. And I'm not going to damn Walmart to get a Patty's pie. Damn it, I want a homemade one. So that was the one thing that I didn't. I need somebody to make me pecan pie.
Pecan
Um,
pie and apple pie are up here. Everything else is mid in my world.
okay,
But I also think that pumpkin pie is overrated,
it is.
and deviled eggs are disgusting. So y'all can have them all you
Whoa,
want.
whoa, 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 whoa.
That's
Yeah, that's blasphemy. Why would
yeah.
you
I was
do
just
that?
about to-
Mm.
Why would you do that? Devil
Gross.
eggs? Dog.
Now let me be
Devil-
clear. I've never actually had one,
Oh, okay. That explains everything.
but I don't. I
It
have a
just
thing with
looks bad.
food. I have a thing with food consistencies. So I just in my head, I'm just like, no, that's not gonna sit
Okay.
right.
It's not going to sit well with you.
No.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. Going back to what's on the board. So, Arkansas, as you said, lose to, I use fruitcake as a doorstop. Damn right, Ty. I'm with you on that. I was in Publix the other day, and I said, is this what the hell this look like? Man, this shit look like manwich. It's just like in a log. It looked like
It's a
taking
brick.
number two. Yeah, man, it's a brick. It's a
Yeah.
brick. That's what it looked like. I've never been into it. But I do like, since we're going into Christmas, you do know the tin can of cookies.
Mm-hmm. The butter
That's
cookies or whatever they're called.
there you go. There you go. You can't. That's a classic. You can't go
Mhm.
wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
The
But going back,
tins usually dented.
yeah, they're the best
And then
time.
back in the day, that doubled as your grandmother's knitting supplies or whatever.
Absolutely got the knitting and the yarn and
Yep.
man, yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a southern thing. That's nationwide. All right. So back to basketball. We played Miami, as you said.
Mhm.
Hopefully these guys can get it together and start getting on the road. Hopefully we can start seeing some consistency. It seems like we only got two players that's really putting on every single week. Seems like it's Thero and
Boogie.
Boogie.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm just
Mhm.
looking like I'm waiting for Big Z to be consistent, whether it's in the paint or whether it's on the perimeter shooting threes and then getting blocks and rebounds. I would like for him to be a double-double guy. I don't care if it's 10 and 11. I would just like for him to be a double-double guy and keep it moving. Jesse said, unsportsmanlike conduct. Adam hating on the devil eggs. Absolutely, Jesse. Call him out on it, man. He also don't like peeps for Easter, but I digress.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. All right, so check it. Hopefully these guys can get it going. Like I said, hopefully we can get a third player that can get in there, whether it be Davis or, I don't know, somebody. What's the young man that transferred from Tennessee?
Adu.
He kicked our butt when we played them last year. And I'm just trying to figure out, why is he not getting more time on the floor? Because he's a scrappy guy.
I think his is just coming off injury. They're working him back in.
Gotcha.
He's close to 100%. He's not all the way there, but he's getting close.
Yeah, we need to see him or TB be able to get his own shot. Maybe TB come into the J. Will role where he brings the ball up the floor at the top of the key and move the ball around, let them run some plays. But I would love to see one of those taller guys being able to be athletic and get their own shot and handle the ball from the top of the key. I think that can definitely change what they look like, because clearly we're not a team that's going to be outside shooting and one or two guys in the paint. That's just not what we look like as a roster. As of right now, it's not. So hopefully when those guys get some players back, we'll go ahead and make it do what it do. Football. But before we get into football, we got to run something. We got to see some scores or something. Let's see some scores. Week 14 scores. Yeah. So A&M hosted Texas after 11 years and came up with 7 damn points.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get mad at Mike Elko in year one. I can't get mad at Mike Elko. He's done a great job, but I thought they'd have a better showing in that game against Texas.
I didn't think the next game Georgia would go to 4 overtimes.
It went to 8, didn't it? It went to 8 overtimes.
Was it 8 overtimes?
Yeah. It was 8.
No.
Yeah.
I forgot that they do them weird.
Yeah.
Which I hate I get it, but just doing 2-point conversion for 2-point conversion and not counting as your whole overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Put it back to when 7 overtimes lasted 5.5 hours.
Yeah, great times. We know all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were the days.
We had
LSU had to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
What was it last year? Like when the Illinois went to 8 overtimes and it was like 10-3 or some like low score Big Ten. Just, I wouldn't want to sit through that.
Gotcha. But this is the thing that's interesting. Watching Georgia play, they struggling. Their offense seems to struggle. If somebody can get up on them offensively, then they just, I don't know if they're going to make a deep run into the playoff. They've just been hanging on by a limb every single week, kind of like Missouri has been doing. But somehow they find a way to win and go to overtime. But a shout out to Coach Key at Georgia Tech in downtown Atlanta. He building a culture over there. I like what he's doing to take it to Georgia at that pace and go 42-44. That's something to hold your head up about as far as building culture of your team. Like I said, so I ain't mad at him for that. Tennessee did what they did. Somehow they strung out a game, put up some points late, 36-23. Vanderbilt should have got up on those boards and took care of business, but it was what it was. Tennessee is in the driver's seat as far as 12-team playoff. I like where they stand. I don't know how far they'll go with Nico as the QB, but I do like their run game. I do like the defense. So we'll see what it looks like when it comes to Tennessee making a run. South Carolina and Clemson. Now, I picked against South Carolina. I picked Clemson. I figured it's senior day at Clemson, big thing going on. But South Carolina has something to say. And
Sellers, their quarterback, is that guy for them.
He'll do. I'm going to tell you who he looked like. He looked like a slimmer, faster KJ Jefferson. Maybe
it works
not.
for them. Oh, I mean, it works for them because you got to think, too, with Dow Loggins there. He knows the ins and outs of KJ's game.
Mm-hmm.
Plus having Rocket there.
Yeah, plus having Rocket. So at the end of the day, I like what Coach Beamer's doing in South Carolina, being number 15.
We wrote him out. I wrote him off at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But like I said, they got on a roll. And like I said, I think they won 6 games in a row. So, like I said, that's – and I'm not going to say I'm envious, but I can appreciate his ability to build culture. That's what teams really want. That's what players who are in your backyard want to stay home and go play for South Carolina in that regard. I'm sure they'll be able to flip some players from Clemson to South Carolina. It's a more exciting style of play. So I definitely like what South Carolina's doing with Shane Beamer. Alabama finds a way to pull it out. 28-14, Auburn in the Iron Bowl. It was what it was. Alabama, once again, is in a situation where you don't have to play in the SEC championship. But you can really just sit there and get rested, work on your offensive philosophy, and then walk your way into a 12-team playoff. So hopefully they can put something together. But they look leery as well as far as offense. You can't run Jalen Milroe every single down and expect to get him through a season to do that to be successful. At some point, somebody going to scheme up to stop that run, that RPO, and stop Alabama because they're not in the pocket tossing it around the yard. So I don't know what Alabama's going to do in regards to the 12-team playoff. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, 26-14. Yeah. That game shouldn't have been close. I don't know if Ole Miss was just upset because they lost last week, but it didn't look good as it looked in the past. Arkansas, Missouri. You see it, you know what it is, and that's why we're here, and we're gonna get to it because I'm trying to figure out. First of all.
First of all,
I'm sick of I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. And not Mizzou. I'm sick of Arkansas fucking losing to teams we have no business losing to. At some point, you got to get tired of getting your ass whooped at home, on the road. You talking about a trophy? Put that bowling ball up in a bowling bag. Fuck the trophies, because you're not winning no trophy. We getting whooped in all the trophy games, and Mizzou finds a way to win. Due to scoring touchdowns, doing snow angels and shit. It's just frustrating. The coach.
But I digress.
Thank you, sir. Louisville, 41 over Kentucky. Kentucky just fell apart this year. I don't know what Stoops got going on. It just fell apart. They gave it to Georgia the best they could. Pause. And they fought a good fight against Georgia. And it told us something about Kentucky's ability to fight as a team, but it also told us a lot about Georgia, what was to come in regards to Georgia having some struggles offensively. LSU took care of business against OU. It's weird seeing LSU and OU play each other in rivalry week because that's not I guess they're trying to make them be a rival. I don't know. They should just swap it out and just.
It's kind of like the same shit with. I mean, honestly, OU and Missouri would make sense to play the last game versus. I mean, because they took away the LSU A&M for A&M Texas, so it's just mass shuffling. But OU and Mizzou would make sense just coming from the Big 12.
Yeah.
Or who knows? I also don't want to get out of this game because I'm tired of losing to Mizzou.
What you about to say, Hart?
It seems like every time we have an expansion, LSU plays the new team on one of the new teams on the last week of the year because it was us, and then you had A&M, and now you got Oklahoma, and that's the last three expansions.
Gotcha.
So it's just kind of weird that they end up doing that.
I think somehow, and I'm not sure if it was all home games, but at the end of the year, for them not to have a true, legit year after year rivalry. Wait a minute, isn't Ole Miss and LSU a rivalry? Is it? I mean, we know it's Ole Miss, Mississippi State, but either way, I look at it. I think in the beginning of SEC play, LSU and Ole Miss was a big time game. OU and Missouri do play for a trophy.
Everybody plays for a trophy anymore.
Apparently, yeah. It's everybody participates in trophy shit. That's where we at. Florida.
Is that more Florida or less or more Florida State?
It's Florida because. This is the thing. Florida looked shitty, and it was bounced. They played all three of their quarterbacks. DJ Lagway got hurt again. He came back healthy. Jaden Barr doing what he does. The defensive line was able to get a lot of pressure, I think, 4 weeks ago. So ever since then, the defense been able to hold them down, and the offense been able to make plays. They had a couple players get hurt, so they did the next man mentality. And they got enough of a roster of some talented guys who really want to play when it's that opportunity to get in the game. So shout out to Florida for doing what they do. FSU is trash. We all knew they was going to lose. But for Billy Napier to – because you got to think about it. That was calling for his head. You know, Florida has a high They have a low tolerance and they have a high ceiling as far as their expectations every year. You know, they expect to play for championships every single year. So they were calling for Billy Napier's head, saying that he's trying to recruit 3-stars and play them like they're 5-stars. We don't have time to develop guys, pay money, and just go ahead and get players. But those guys find a way to turn it around, and of course, are going to a bowl game, so it's definitely going to help with their recruiting because we already know they flipped our kicker to go to Florida and some other players. But
and then we magically got the new #1 kicker in the country.
Now you saw that too, and I was like, wait a minute. I thought the kicker we had was #1. It was Florida.
And now this one, the one that we had. I don't know if it just slipped through. Weren't talking about him as much, whatever. But like when he transferred, he was labeled as like the #6 kicker, and I'm like, but when we signed him or when he committed, he was the #1 kicker. Like, did he fall to 6 because he committed to Arkansas? Is that what we're doing here?
Well, that's what we've been doing. You know, a guy could be a 4-star if he commits to Alabama, and all of a sudden he commits to Arkansas, he's 3-star. So we know how that goes.
And then we all saw with Florida State, yes, Gus Malzahn will be their new OC.
That's crazy work. To the point to where I had to say to myself, damn, KJ Jefferson ran that man from being a head coach. He's going back to being offensive coordinator. That's crazy. I think Florida State will bounce back. They got enough talent. They can make it happen. They just had a horrible year, and they got to find a quarterback because their whole roster of quarterbacks is trash.
That's fine.
Yeah,
well, then their boosters made a push to Norvell because they're in a situation that they can't buy him out. And so it was fire your staff. And then they went and got Malzahn to be the new OC. So,
but I like, even though they were down and they have nothing to play for, I like the fact they were making moves when nobody's watching. You just pulled a head coach from his posting from the school and said, "Look, you're not doing well. Can you come in and be the OC? We need somebody who can call plays and get the right quarterbacks in here and develop them." So I like that. I really do like that. All right, so that's SEC scores for Week 14. You got the standings? Yes, you do. And of course, SEC championship is going to be Texas and Georgia. As much as I hate to do this, I got to give credit to Sarkisian and Texas. You won the Big 12 championship in the last year of existence, and now you have the ability to go to the SEC in your first year and play and potentially win the SEC championship in year 1. That's big time. That's big time. Georgia gonna mess around and just I don't know.
Well,
I think it's going to be opposite of their first meeting.
Okay, right.
Georgia won 30-15 or whatever. I think this go around Texas smacks them in the mouth.
Yeah, you got.
Because like someone put in the comments, Carson Beck is not that guy, and I think that they lose a big game on his shoulders.
I can see it. The way he throws interceptions, and he looked like he high as hell on the sideline, while Kirby Smart is cussing him out. So
at least some coaches cuss him out.
Yeah. Somebody said in the comment, y'all get mad at Pippen when he don't say nothing, and then when he say something, you're mad at that too. Yeah, we pissed about everything because we fucking lose. That's why the fuck we mad. So forget what you're talking about. All right, those are SEC standings. But before we move forward, we got to pay some bills, don't we?
Might as well.
Show the sponsor.
Let's take a quick break and talk about something just as important as Arkansas Game Day, your home. Our friends over at Premium Supply are more than just siding. They've got everything you need to make your house look as sharp as a fresh pair of game day cleats. We're talking siding, soffit, columns, windows, doors, vents, decking. You name it. Whether you're building a whole new home or just giving it a little extra TLC, they've got you covered. And with locations in Conway, North Little Rock, Russellville, and Jonesboro, there's always a Premium Supply nearby. So if you're looking for premium products with premium customer service, head on over to premiumsidingsupply.com. Premium Supply, where we treat each of our customers like one of the family.
We want all the smoke. I'm about to get to these comments. I'm going to let y'all start on this football situation.
I mean, is there a situation?
There is. First of all, before we continue, oh yeah, I recognize what you did there, sir. Anybody recognize the hat? Yeah, it's about to go there. It's about to be petty AF right now. As my man say, what is called petty Air Force. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he called. Yeah, yeah.
that's what
We want to get this
correct.
comment. Altizo Walker, 5 years with the same head coach is 6-6 justifiable. Losses to a terrible Oklahoma State, barely beat Auburn, etc. I'm listening. Mr. Walker, you definitely got a point there. You guys want to chime in on Mr. Walker's comment real quick?
I mean, it's one of those things that I feel like that's what a lot of us were calling or kind of bringing up mid-season, or at least the last few weeks before it came out, that Pittman was not going anywhere. Yes, we improved record-wise on last year, but it's one of those things that how many games did we lose for bullshit reasons that were play? I mean, that was our fault. It wasn't like it was. You can blame it on a ref,
Right.
but I sit in the games, especially yesterday's, and I'm like, I would rather have been blown out than lose the way that we've lost so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets old. We've changed coordinators multiple times, and I get it. You have to have some form of consistency or whatever, but out of the things that we have changed, there's been one constant, and it's been the head coach. But unfortunately, I mean, we're going to be going through this again next season.
Oh yeah. I want to go ahead and call a prediction for next season, but I'm gonna let this whole transfer portal and who comes in, and I'm also in the back of my mind also hang on to Petrino's offense in year 2, what it looks like. That's what I'm holding on to right now, but I'm still pissed about the shit. Hart, what you got to say about that comment?
As far as Pittman, we told you before the year started that if we made a bowl game, he would stay.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't like that as the bar, but there's more to the picture, and I'll cover that in home news.
Gotcha. Comment here by David Pearson. All 6 losses, we had at least 2 turnovers and averaged almost 8 penalties for 68 yards a game. You know what I call that, Mr. David?
Undisciplined.
Exactly. That's the exact word I'm going with. Undamn discipline. And like at some point, you got to get to a point to where I'm like most people have raised children. And at some point, if the child continues to do the same thing over and over again, you as the parent or the disciplinarian have to take a different plan of action to get different results. Pull his ass and set him on the bench. I don't know if you guys seen that clip from Coach Bobby Knight. He said the best way to straighten out a player is set him on the bench. He said something about him sitting on the bench. He said somehow his ass soaks into the seat and it transmits a message to his head, to his heart, to make him play better so that he can get results. Because he said it all lines up at the end of the day. So it's like at some point you got to put these guys on the bench and give somebody behind them an opportunity to play. And that's what I've said all year long. Malachi Singleton, he's a dude. I'm talking about every time he gets in the game, he brings a spark.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Money.
I know.
Oh.
I know.
Well, you're a little too close to.
Sorry.
Yeah. Back your ass.
Well, and people watching in the comments chime in here, because I this kind of question, it's different posts and different comments I've seen across different groups, but we've got some on one side that are blaming. We'll go with the coaches for turnovers or for penalties or for. I'm seeing a lot of people come to the defense of the coaches, like, well, they're not the ones on the field. They're not the one that threw the interception. They're not the one that fumbled the ball. And the other side is, but they're the ones in practice that should be fixing these errors, that should be disciplining, that should be, it all starts with discipline and practice. Which side of this are you on? Gotcha. Whether it's y'all, people in the comments, I just want people to chime in. Like, I'm not saying one particular person has to be blamed, because I think that it's overall a entire team issue, players and coaches. But
it's a program issue.
Yeah, we've got a lot of finger pointing that it's it's coaches, it's players. No, it's the players, not the coaches. Which is it? It can be both. So why are we pointing fingers at one another on it? Gotcha. Or are we just arguing for the arguing?
we're going to have to start looking at and treating players, or the college is going to have to start doing it like the NFL does, especially if they start doing the revenue sharing and all the players get paid. They may have to just start fining them
Mhm.
and getting them that way, because in the NFL, if you have a star quarterback that's getting paid $40 million, you're not going to bench him unless he is absolutely terrible over a long period of time.
Daniel
And
Jones.
you have to look the same thing, right?
Said it the same
Got him.
Got his ass.
But same thing goes in college though. You got they want us to give our money for players, and then you pay all these a certain amount of players a lot of money. If your money is going to those players, you're going to want to see them on the field. You're not going to want to see them on the bench. And so that's the problem that the coaches are going up against, is you got boosters and all these people saying, why is this guy not playing? And then, you have the coach saying, well, he's not performing well, so you just got to, it's a tough battle for
I
coaches
think players
nowadays.
are going to have a reality check when the revenue sharing comes in, that guess what? You are getting paid by the school. You have a contract with the school. Your ass is playing in bowl games, and you will start getting fined, whether it's whether you miss practices, whether you get inerrant flags, whether you get kicked out of a game for whatever reason. Like, you're going to start getting treated like it's semi-pro or professional league.
It just makes sense at this particular point because the whole blueprint of what we all grew up on is no longer in place. So with this new dynamic, we need new parameters and boundaries in order to make this thing flow. Shout out to Joshua with the comment. He said, "What's up, guys?" Logan. Also, when you just play lax off 3-point shooters to my basketball, taking too many breaks on the defensive end, yeah, just look lost out there. Yeah. See, that's a problem. JP, it doesn't matter who the coach is. It seems whoever they are playing shoots lights out from the 3-point line. Great point. Brad, seeing multiple Adams on DP's feed is a little disturbing. Hold on.
I'm a distraction.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, Brad. Jay Johnson's in the house.
What up, Jay?
GP doesn't know. By the way, means
BT Dub.
Ty. You know what? We've had this conversation before, Ty. You're getting too young for your britches, there, sir. Yeah, just
He takes back what he said.
yeah. He take back what he said. Justin said, "What's going on, fellas?"
What up?
Hey, those are the guys, Will. Those are the guys, Will. Let me get on these comments. I gotta get Jay on this one though. No sweet potato pie. I miss sweet potato casserole with the pecan and brown sugar topping. No marshmallows. And Jay, where's
What are
Jay
you
from?
doing?
I'm fixing some shit. I'm trying to get your head out the screen because Brad said it's disturbing to see your face twice. Like, look at yourself. Like, look how the fuck you look right now.
It's
All
awkward.
right. Yeah. William Brown said, "Where the hell is Publix? It's a southeastern upscale." Okay,
It's one of the best grocery chains in the country.
The fuck yeah. So I remember when I was in Northwest Arkansas, Harps was different than like Kroger or somewhere else. Like it was like nicer. I don't know if it still is, but yeah. You work at Harps is a damn chandelier in the vestibule, so it was big time shit. Brad says jalapeno, bacon, devil eggs, all the bomb. You're gonna be farting all week. Don't worry about it. But the shit is good. He's not lying. Joshua talking about some eats. He said a tin of popcorn. You had the white cheddar, the regular popcorn.
White cheddar. You just had the cheese, the yellow, orange cheese, cheddar flavor.
No. We talking about the tin where it's like divided up in three.
The three, yeah. It's yellow. It's just
that's regular
cheddar.
popcorn. That's cheddar popcorn.
It's not white cheddar.
You do have a white cheddar.
You have regular popcorn, you have caramel, and you have cheddar.
What? Go ahead and Google it, Mister. I know every damn thing. Do you not eat smart food popcorn? Is that not what the food popcorn is? With just white cheddar?
Yeah, that's that. But we're talking about a tin of popcorn that you get in the holidays. That's just straight cheddar,
Google it.
orange.
Google it, since you know every damn thing.
Because
Once
now
again,
there's some weird people that even mix the caramel and the cheddar. I don't understand that.
really, I forgot you're a texture guy. You have issues.
What
Sounds
is
like some child.
what is that?
What is that? Is the popcorn on the okay? And what is that to the right?
Regular
That
popcorn,
that should look like
cheddar,
candy corn. That like candy
caramel.
corn. That like candy corn
This
over
is your standard. Hmm. It's orange.
there. That look like flaming hot popcorn.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, sir. Just let me be. All right, guys, who gets fired first? Hunter Yurchek or Sam Pittman? We got some
Neither.
Hunter Yurchek news.
Neither.
Neither one. Great try though. Miami has been rolling.
Reeling.
Miami is my second favorite college team. Yeah, I moved on. So I'm
You know
torn.
who else has been reeling? USC after getting beat by St. Mary's by like 30.
Interesting.
Had to throw that out there. A little jab.
Might need to swap Richmond. That's the guy I was talking about too.
Billy Richmond.
Billy Richmond.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Billy Richmond can really get there and do some things because DJ Wagner ain't did shit. He looked like the same player from Kentucky.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think getting Carter Knox and Billy Richmond more involved would benefit Arkansas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I had to say something real quick. Did I tell y'all? Wait a minute. Let me get closer. Did I tell y'all I'm fucking tired of losing? I'm fucking I'm tired. I'm tired. And I try to give Sam Pittman grace. Two things can be true. You can't be a nice guy and people can like you. But as far as the results, let's just say we're talking about work. You know somebody at your job who was a great guy, who was a great gal, but they fucking suck at their job. They're just not getting it done. You try to give them grace. You try to give them some time to figure it out. And it's just not fucking getting it done. That's where I'm at with it. I'm sick of us losing to teams we have no business losing to. We're going to end up with 5 wins next year. And if we end up where we look bad in the middle of the season, just fire the fucking coach. Just get. We can't wait till the end of the season to figure this thing out. Like, I'm so over it. It's ridiculous. A&M had 2 touchdowns.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
It's too damn bad. A&M had 2 TDs called back due to penalties, which means they should have won that game. Waited 11 years to only score 7 points. Same thing I said. Carson Beck is that. He is not. Look who it is, guys. Good evening, Mr. Reese. We miss you. Hope everything is well. Glad to see you on here.
Hope you're
We
feeling
around-
well, Miss Teresa.
Absolutely, absolutely. How do we get out? I'm still out bid for Gus, and now he steps down to be OC. 100-year check needs to go. Is that a 100-year check thing, or is that Gus playing, doing that thing he does where he just says, "Hey, give me some more money, and I'll consider it," but I'm gonna end up staying where I'm at.
Gus Malzahn and his wife do not want to coach at Arkansas.
Makes sense.
Let
to
me rephrase that. Coach Malzahn's wife does not want him to coach in Arkansas.
What is that about?
And
Hmm?
You
I
can't
don't.
speak on it.
Well,
I
I
mean,
don't know about that part, but
as far as I know, they don't want it. They're going to retire here. Coaching here could turn out bad. They don't want to retire here and deal with that afterwards.
Gotcha. Mr. Walker also says Arkansas needs to build a culture. Sam has us headed nowhere, headed in year 6. Yeah. The Unnamed Horror Podcast. Interesting. I just tuned into the show, and the first thing I hear is I'm sick of losing to teams we should have. And I thought, yes, I completely agree. It's bullshit. That's what's up. Welcome. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. The Unnamed Horror Podcast. Matter of fact, I'm trying to think, is that podcast that was up for an award as well with the Hog talking of West Arkansas? He about to look it up. Anyhow, the Unnamed Horror Podcast. Tell a friend that you are watching the Hog HQ Live, and we definitely appreciate your presence this evening. That's come from the top. Pittman isn't that guy. Yeah, we know that. Tyson Franks. Arkansas LSU is a real rival game. Yeah. I had a question while we into this. People who watch it, and we'll get back on track and let the guys talk about some things. So we definitely got some Hog news to share with you guys. But as we're talking and we're getting ready to move towards that segment of the show, I talked to the guys and I was like, if you could basically describe the regular season that we've seen from the Razorbacks this year, can you describe the season? How you feel? Now, it's not trying to be funny, but I want to know how you guys feel. Give me a three words that would describe the season. I mean, I want you to think about how you felt when we played UAPB, scored 70 points. I want you to think about, well, I got to wait till we play Oklahoma State and see what that looks like. Did you still have promise then? What about when we beat Auburn? What about when we beat Tennessee? So I really want to know in a 3-word phrase or segment. You can individual words or you can break it into phrase. 3 words that you would personally describe this season from the Razorbacks. I wonder where KJ going to next year.
UFL.
Yeah, because he definitely
The Hot Springs Arena League.
Damn. Does
Shout out to
Williams?
Chris Goodman and the Hot Springs Wise guys.
Shout out. JP Gregory said, does Williams, talking about T. Will, does he go to FSU as DC?
I don't think so.
Mm.
I think he stays unless there's a lower tier head coaching job that comes available, but I think he's here.
And I'm glad you brought that up. As I look for these 3 phrase words that come into the screen, I want to ask you guys. I mean, I know sometimes we get kind of biased with us with Arkansas fans. We're from the state. We grew up on them, went to the games. We got all these memories. But I started thinking about, let's just say next year, because we all know, as we know as of now, Pittman is coming back for next year. I started thinking about some potential coaches and places that they currently are, and I want to know, to you guys, is it a better place than where you currently are? For example, I thought about Rhett at SMU. SMU is a better job than Arkansas right now.
Mm-hmm.
The coach at Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather stay at Indiana or come to Arkansas in the SEC?
It's his alma mater.
You asked the question. All right. If you Barry Odom, would you rather stay at UNLV and have potential to knock off Boise State and potential to maybe sneak into the 12-team playoff? Or would you want to come back to Arkansas, spin the block, and come back to the SEC? UNLV versus Arkansas. What's the better job?
Well, Arkansas. Which one's easier, though?
There's a difference between easier and better.
I didn't ask which one was easier. See, Hart tried to change the narrative. I didn't ask you that shit. I asked you which one would you go to.
He is in a better situation.
At UNLV.
And timing has a lot to do with everything, too.
Okay.
So I think that if they were, we'll just say, right immediately out of the top 25, I think it would be more plausible. But as it stands right now, no.
Arizona State, they've been doing their thing. Would you leave Arizona State to come to Arkansas?
That guy just told all his players to go transfer because we can't get you money.
Yeah, I think Stoops did the same thing in Kentucky, and all of a sudden some money showed up. But I digress. Would you stay at Arizona State, or would you go to Arkansas with the opportunity presented itself?
Well, it's not the #1 party school anymore, so I don't know.
Gotcha. Arizona State may whoop Dixie Street ass. I'm just saying. It's just I don't know. My question also, Boise State. Would you leave Boise State to come to Arkansas?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to live in Idaho?
Would you leave Utah to come to Arkansas?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
There's reasons behind that too.
I know where you're going. I do want to get to some of these comments, but I want to let you guys take off on what you have, and I'll jump back into these comments.
Well, I mean, just going back to the game right quick. Like I said earlier, I would rather have been blown out than lose that way. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of looking at Eli's little shit-eating grin. I will say kudos to him for kneeling when Landon Jackson went out. Kind of, being quiet, being reserved, not meeting with his players, just being in the moment. So, he did address the Talon Green mispronunciation. You can say
Right.
what you want to say. You did it on purpose. In
Yeah,
my
he did it on
opinion, you did
purpose.
it for shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, he's not going to shut up. At the same time, some of these, and I said this on Hog Talk, some of these articles that are being written out there, stop writing articles like Arkansas needs to hire Eli after Sam's gone. Like, it's not going to happen. Stop
Right.
putting out clickbait shit like that. It gets old.
Yeah.
So, it sucks to lose. Honestly, great. We got to a bowl game. I'm tired of that being the measuring stick. I don't think it should be anymore.
Mm-hmm.
As much as, it's not like back in the day when there's only like 32 bowl games, when they start expanding to like 70, 80 bowl games, however many there are.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those that it's not the same standard that it was anymore, and I'm tired of it. So I know that I'll pay attention to what bowl game we go to, but at the same time, you're going to have a handful of players opt out. I think the players that are already thanking the fans and thanking Hog Nation and everything else, especially the ones that are seniors, redshirt seniors, or they just have the high hopes or strong hopes of going to the NFL, we're not going to see them in a bowl game.
Right.
So they're going to opt out. I get it, but at the same time, I don't like it.
Real quick. Anybody see this? What is wrong with Ty? Ty's out of control, man. He's out of control. Davis has to get going to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
This comment I seen, I definitely had this conversation. Give me Houston Nutt as an AD. Or at least an advisor. I just said this to my friend.
Mm-hmm.
We have nobody in our program that we can go to and say, hey, can you be an advisor? A guy who understands about building culture, who understands about building existing relationships, i.e. bringing former players back, having them speak to the team on the sideline.
No, we have a
Hey, guys.
program that doesn't embrace former players. And once again, that was brought into the spotlight by Brooks Ellis this past week.
I seen that.
It's one of those things that whether it's almost like the football program just wants to have the doors closed. They don't want former players. They don't want former coaches. They don't want media members. They don't want they just want everything kept quiet, if you will. And I've never seen a program alienate former players so much.
Yeah. Looking at Jeff's comment, talking about there's been a big misses on scouting talent in key positions from the transfer portal, not getting the ball to proven playmakers, i.e. tight end, missing wide open receivers every game. That's Taylor Green not being able to read defense's issue.
One thing we haven't touched on all season, talking about tight ends and whatnot, don't we have the number one tight end coach in the country?
We do.
Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about him much.
No, we haven't. And this is the thing. When you have Luke, who's come back from injury, and when he does get the ball in his hand, he does make plays. You had two tight ends leave. Then all of a sudden, you got this other dude come in. He gets 2 touchdowns in one game. Meanwhile, Shamar Easter's on the sideline. It's crazy work. You thought I was going to forget that shit? Just know his name is going to show up on this portal transfer along with Davion Dozier. Ojinga Carr, shout out to my guy watching us on YouTube. Here's 3 words, same old shit. I'm going to say it. Camera. I thought the iPads were going to help the QB's mistakes. Jeff, I definitely agree with that. I thought it would too. But at the same time, once that defense comes at him, I don't think he knows what the fuck's going on. And I like him better under center than I do in the shotgun. I just do. I just do.
You know how it would help? Have Bobby Petrino break an iPad to show him how pissed off he is.
I would like to see it. I would love to see it. Somebody showing some passion on the sideline. That's where I'm at. Same old shit. Todd said, mine are what the hell. Not wrong. Nothing wrong with that. Teresa, doing better. She said 5 days post-op, right hip replacement. It will be slow. Okay.
You can give Coach Pittman some tips.
Yep.
Just in 3 words, a damn disgrace. Gotcha. Somebody, let me see. Hunter said something about frustrating penalty, surprise, defense played well, confused people playing, they can't catch or block. Speaking of penalties and mistakes, we lead the country in fumbles.
Mm-hmm. And it was fitting that they put that graphic up and we fumbled like 2 plays later.
That's kind of like saying the kicker hasn't missed all year long. Oh, it's wide right. They'd be like, why would you even say that? Commentators jinx. Would you leave Colorado to come to Arkansas?
Coach Brown's not coming here. Let's just not even.
No. Even if it was another coach, I don't think you leave out there to come out here. What's the deal? Steve, I think we may touch on this. Unless, Adam, you want to touch on it right now.
I mean, he didn't go through warm-ups. He was all of a sudden listed as a game-time decision. According to him, the previous week, he was healthy. Coach Pittman even said in his post-game presser against Louisiana Tech that he didn't realize that Braylon Russell didn't play and that he was healthy, that he wasn't healthy the previous week. But it's just kind of funny that Braylon tweets out that he's healthy, and then all of a sudden he's a game-time decision, and then he doesn't play. Kind of reminiscent of when Dubinion went to Twitter posting about his displeasure with his playing time, and then we didn't see him for a few weeks. So I think it's just flat-out punishment for whatever reason, and I'm not going to be surprised if Braylon Russell goes to the portal.
Let me ask you this question. I'm glad you said that because I'm sure it's some people's mind. Is it a possibility? I'm not sure. I didn't keep track of how many games he played. Has he burned his red shirt for the year?
Yes. Red shirt, you can play in 4 games. He played it. He appeared in 9. So
you can't afford to have a player like that.
No, and several of those games too were 1 run, 2 runs. So it was kind of like, what was the damn point?
Also, I forgot what game it was. It was a 4th and 1. And I think we had Rodney Hill in the game because Jackson got injured. And a lot of people said, well, why wasn't Braylon Russell in the game? He hadn't played to that point. And they were saying, well, it's kind of messed up to let that be his first carry. Anybody? It was Oklahoma State. Thank you. Anybody see Arch Manning? Anybody see that run?
That touchdown?
Oh, dude. It was 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. The dude came in and ran the ball and ran over somebody and got in the end zone. I'm just saying, you don't get that caliber player and just let him sit on the bench. Like I said, you let him play to what you promised him and his people. Mr. Rich said Eli Dirty Pants is just a grown-up nerd with a different pocket protector shirt and visor, like he was a kid at Alma. Right? Just a none. I'm glad you brought this point up. I would have forgot about it. So, Andrew Luck is a GM at Stanford.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
It is, because especially if you're bringing in revenue sharing to players, you're bringing a different element of business to the teams. You're probably going to need somebody in a position like this to be able to facilitate some of the business side of things.
Tyler, you read my mind. Houston Nutt should be the GM. It just makes sense to me. I don't know one person that didn't like Houston Nutt. The Hogs need to get a proven head coach after Sam is gone. Urban Meyer is a proven head coach. It's a couple things. Yeah, it's a couple things Arkansas isn't ready for, and I think that's one of them. I honestly don't think we're at a place unless we get an athletic director who just demands it. I don't think Arkansas was at a place where they're willing to back up the truck and just pay big dollars.
I look at this when I'm just thinking of head coaches, and again, Sam Pittman's our head coach. Let's just throw that out there so somebody doesn't misconstrue this. I've seen, and this kind of goes back to when, like, the talk of Deion Sanders, it goes hand in hand with this, because I still see a lot of people that will comment about Deion's personality, or that he's too much, or that he's this or he's that. More or less, the tone I get from that is because it makes you uncomfortable, and that's why you don't want him as a head coach.
Preach.
And I sit here and look at, but a guy that you are comfortable with, that you will turn on the jukebox with, that you will sit down and have a cold beer with, we're getting the same damn thing and the same results. So why not shake it up and go get somebody that makes you uncomfortable?
Can we hit the like button, please? Can we please hit the like button on that shit? He just spoke facts. Man, if I didn't know any better right now, you'd be a Baptist preacher. It's facts. If I had an organ, I'd be in the background. That's Jessica Covington. Her 3
Best
words:
I can
piss
do.
poor football. Man, you did a great job, brother. You gotta watch him, guys. You gotta watch him. Jay said the type of person Drake is win or loss, he's gonna talk ish. Yeah, the same thing we talked about with old Kiffin. Kiffin talk ish, right?
Biggest troll of them all.
There you go. Look, has transferring. You guys think he will?
Not right now. I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think he will.
All
He's got
right,
1 year and he'll go pro.
gotcha. I like that because you do got the number 1 tight end coach in the country. Meanwhile, we can't get him the damn ball because we can't read defenses, and we number 1 in fumbles. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Before we move on, I'm gonna let the guys have it because they got some hog news. Both of them got some hog news tonight.
Wait, do we want to show the scuffles before we get?
That's what I'm getting ready to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Yeah. So this weekend in rivalry week, say that 3 times, guys.
I know.
Notice nobody tried to say shit. So, right? So at the end of the day, with the guys competing against a lot of in-state or whoever their regional rival is, it was a lot of scuffles.
More made up rival.
Yeah. So Adam got a little clip right here. Gonna roll these little scuffles going on for the weekend.
Ohio State field, and the Buckeyes rushed right to him. And now there's some skirmishes going on.
Watch it here as number 8 up top, Keandre Leonard-Smith. That's Devontae Smith just continuing to go at it. We go final, and Florida plants the flag. They've seen this cause chaos around college football. Started with Michigan, Ohio State, USC, and North Carolina State got into.
So yeah,
I'm gonna get to these comments at the end. Look, my 2 cents on it, and it doesn't matter. It's just my 2 cents. If you put everything you had into beating their ass on the field, you wouldn't have to do none of that shit. So stop the fake tough guy shit and beat his ass on the field in between the lines where it counts.
Mm.
The wins and the losses is where it counts. All this old fake scuffles, it's childish, really. It's very immature.
if you lose and you get mad at them planting a flag in the middle of your field, you should have beat them.
There you go. It's almost like when we were kids and you'd be like, dude, give me my ball back. I'm going home. It's that type of shit. It's weak to me. It's weak as hell. Bunch of weak sauce to me. Look like Bloods and Crips. Hey, that was out there banging.
And I will say,
yeah.
because somebody I had seen a comment about was where the players getting maced, was that too much? And I'm like, no, because you had cops trying to separate the players. You had grown-ass men wearing full pads going at each other, shoving cops.
Yeah.
That's all they could do was mace them to get them the hell back. So
now I would also throw this in there. Real world scenario. That part. If it was not on the football field, and it was some gentlemen that looked like what you seen on the street, macing them. If you're an innocent standby, you'd be like, "Hey, this needs to stop. These guys are being violent."
Well, I already told you. I don't know if you last night when I sent the Notre Dame USC punch. If roles were reversed and the punch was thrown by the USC player, he would have been labeled a thug. But nobody chimes in at the Notre Dame player.
Hey man, did you go to church today? Because you preaching today, brother.
I did.
Preaching today. All right. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let these guys got some great information that you guys need to hear. Once again, hit that like button, man. It's been a great show thus far. But before we close out, these guys got some information that they want to share that is needed. Adam, you gonna start us off?
Sure. I mean, everybody's already kind of heard. We posted about it, whatever day that was, Friday. Juracek was brought up for being one of the front runners for the South Carolina job, him and Georgia Tech's AD. Whole Hog put out an article today that it wasn't likely for him to go. I kind of agree with that. I don't think it's not a step up for Hunter Yurachek. He doesn't gain anything by going to South Carolina, whereas Georgia Tech's AD does gain something from going to it. So I think it was something that he's being linked to it, just like Coach Petrino being linked to Charlotte, having previously been linked to Florida Atlantic. This isn't the first time that Yurachek has been linked to another AD opening. So it's one of those things. He's, in my opinion, still going to be here. Nothing's changed in that. So it was just something that came out and took off, and don't really think it should have, I guess.
Gotcha. Next, Mr. Hart, you got some info for us?
Yes. All right. The last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, when I was talking about the Pittman rumors about him retiring, were starting to heat up again. After doing a little bit of digging, it sounds like it was what we've brought up in the past has finally made its rounds about. So I don't anticipate him retiring this year. I do anticipate him retiring. That's been the story I've been told for years. So there's that. As far as Pittman staying, the reason why I have been told Pittman will be staying that nobody's really talking about, especially in the media, is that every staff member's contract, except for Mateo's and Pittman's contracts, expire next year. Well, that would save the school and donors a ton of buyout money if they were to get rid of everybody now. So there's that. T-Will has a non-compete clause with the SEC, so he won't go to the SEC for any defense coordinator jobs. People have been asking about that. That won't happen. Let's see. I did those, did that. All right. And since it's becoming basketball season, I asked my guy for a couple of names or something to get started on to look out for recruiting wise for basketball. And so he gave me 3 names. First one I have is a 4-star wing, Abdu Toure. The second one I have is a 6'10" center out of Bella Vista Prep, Muhammad Silla. And then the last one I got, I didn't have a chance to look up. I couldn't find him. Maybe I spelled his name wrong, but was Micah Brennan. Was another name that I was given to look out for, as far as Calipari. So that's all I have for the Hog News tonight. Of course, we'll keep you updated with transfer portal and stuff happening. I do want to thank Miss Armstrong, Mr. Johnson, Miss Lassiter, everybody that's parents that's of the players that support us, that continue to watch us, and I want to thank you for your time, Miss Armstrong. I know Andrew's going to be going off. I hope, like DP said earlier, I hope you continue to watch us and keep us updated on Andrew as he moves forward in his career.
Awesome. Great news, guys. I hope you answered some questions of some people, some things. Now, there was one question I did want to get before we leave. Ty asks, is Jimmy Sexton Hunter Yurachek's agent?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because there's been some bad blood between Yurachek and Sexton before.
Oh, yeah. Poaching the coaches away or playing sides to try to get people away from somebody else.
Yeah.
Jay, thank you, sir. Once again, me and Jay went to school together, bro. So he know about that Pomfret Hall. He know about Anthony Lucas. That, man, some good old time. Sound Warehouse, Dixie Street. Look, y'all don't know. And true we trust. Thank you, Andrew. Go beat that. Hey, that's a great comment. Before we get out of here, once again, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving holiday. I do have a birthday coming up. It's the Sagittarius season. We full blown in Sagittarius season. Shout out to all the Sagittarius out there, you know what I'm saying? So we're ready to do our thing.
What?
Yeah. Jay said skate place. Oh, for sure. Some memories. So I got a birthday coming up next Saturday. Feel free to hit my line. I take PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, Whatever, however you feel comfortable. I don't discriminate. No, I'm just playing. But so I look to be on next week. I told the guys, me and my guys will have a great weekend. I got some college buddies that's coming up to visit me for the weekend in Atlanta, and it's gonna be a time. A time will be had. But I will be back on next Sunday. All three of us should be back in motion for the next show. Um, Other than that, I do want to know. We did discuss the Christmas gifts. We did the Christmas ideas last year. We don't think we're going to do the whole month, or I think we did from Thanksgiving up until Christmas.
I think so. It was like 3 or 4.
Yeah. So I do remember we did say we would condense that this year. It's so much information to talk about going into a bowl game, basketball, hopefully getting on a run, things of that nature, transfer portal, 12-team playoff. It's a lot of information to talk about this year in regards to that. So we're going to limit that time, but we will bring that back up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, last year we just came up with gift ideas heading into the holidays. And especially as men, we wait till the last minute and just buy whatever is left on the shelf. That is the Get the Hell Off of Here song. So we're about to get the hell off of here. And we thank y'all for doing what y'all do, man. Appreciate y'all. We out of here. This dude right here.